Hello, welcome to the Hope, Health, and Healing Podcast. I am Michelle Hannah Fields, and I am your host for episode 33, which is part 2 of a 2-part series with my friend Linnette Miller. In this episode, Linnette talks about the ministry that God led her to begin called Blossoms Ministry, where God wanted her to have an impact on young girls, helping them see that a life of faith is a life well lived, and empowering them to become who God's called them to be. She later realized, as she was taking care of her mom and then taking other women, which at the time was 13 different women, to do different activities to get them out of the house and keep them active as seniors. She realized that this group of women were all widows. So, a widow's ministry was birthed out of Blossoms. She has conferences each year that help fund this ministry. Sit back, relax with your favorite cup of coffee or a beverage of your choice, and let Linnette's story inspire you today. I want you to share about your ministry, Blossoms.
Okay.
And how that came to be, what the purpose of that is, and where you see that moving towards.
Blossoms was a thought at first, but it was something God gave me long before I even experienced breast cancer. And he had me writing, the word of God said, write the vision, make it plain. Well, during this time, I'm not trying to be out front. I just want to be this working person, serving behind the scene, just loving every minute of that. And he began to speak to me about Blossoms. Blossom is a ministry for girls, for females, ages 5 to 95 and up. And he began to give me the outline of what he wanted it to be about. And I wrote it all down, but I never stepped out, not one time. I didn't even tell my husband about it, because really I don't want to do this. It's a great idea, and I do want to obey God, but the human side of me is like, I'm doing enough. I've got children, I have responsibilities, I have a job, I have all this stuff. But after I completed breast cancer treatment, the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and he says, Linnette, do you see them, meaning people, the way I see them? He said, do you know their pain? I said, no. He said, do you know where they've been? I said, no. He said, do you know what they've been through? I said, no. He says, now, if you can see them the way I see them, I will use you. Do Blossoms now. So that's when that got serious. But see, through the beating, the shaking, and the pressing, now he's prepared me. Even though he gave me the vision years back, but it wasn't the time. I wasn't ready. But he prepared me. Just like in Psalms when he said, I prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies, and I anoint you with oil, and your cup will run over. By now, my cup is running over. And so I began to start working on Blossoms, and Blossom is learning, teaching, and training. It's to change lives and connect one person at a time. And if you've learned something, be willing to teach it to someone else. And then in your teaching, just know there's always a training time, because everybody doesn't get it at the same time. Like, I didn't get what God was saying to me immediately. He had to carry me through boot camp. He had to carry me through some rough places, hard places on the backside of the mountains. And that's what Blossom is about. So the first thing he asked me to do was do an unveiling of Blossoms. And he had me to bring people in to do his services. And it was like a mini revival, but the people came in to be ministered to, and he had me to bring just certain people in. And I didn't have any money. I hadn't raised, no fundraiser. He said, do T-shirts. So he gave me the emblem for Blossom, and I did the T-shirts, and with the T-shirt sales, he blessed me to be a blessing to all the speakers that came. And that Saturday, there was a instructor from Ole Miss University, and she had gone through the death of her husband, and she ministers, and she came that Saturday to do our luncheon. And she began to minister to the young ladies about, because she lives on campus at Ole Miss at the time, and began to minister to them about what that life is like, campus life and all those things, and then having Christ in your life so you can, exhale and go and be successful in your educational career. And that spearheaded Blossoms. So then the next year, God was having me, and I just did all this at my home church and then at the local college because I didn't have the space.
Yeah.
And then God began to tell me, I want you to do it bigger, because he kept saying greater. I'm like, God, do you really want me to do that? He said, yes. So I want you this year, I want you to do a conference. I said, a conference? I still don't have enough money. And he said, I want you to bring C.C. Winans. And I want you to bring other artists. I was like, this is really expensive. But God began to give me partners. And I did another T-shirt and partners, ad booklets, just whatever he told me to do. I was just walking by faith. And then he asked me to also give of myself, of my own personal finances. And that was a big one. But it wasn't hard because I knew I was hearing from God. And God sent people. Every person he told me they were supposed to be there. Their schedule was clear, and they were there. And the thing that I love about C.C. Winans, and I love a lot of gospel artists, I've watched her life through the years. I don't know her personally, but I have had the opportunity to be in her presence, and she loved the Lord. And it exudes from when you hear her sing and when she's ministering. And she was willing to come, and she didn't feel well, but she came anyway. And I had VIP registrations, and she went to every table and took pictures.
Oh, wow.
She didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
And that was such a blessing, because where I live, there are people never seen a national artist or international artist. They would have never gone to a place to be in that type of atmosphere. But God brought it to them through Blossoms. So in Blossoms Ministry, we do a thing with the children. It's called I Read. Because I like the iPhone and I Read. So I Read is a ministry for children that we have volunteers would take them to the library during the summer reading months, and that they would read books. And we had the testimony of at least one child that I know. The teacher asked the parent, what did you do? Because that child was so far ahead and caught up. And all she could say was, he started reading. And then even the children that couldn't read, it made time for that parent to spend quality time with that child to read to them. And some people say, well, my parents always read to me, but my parents didn't read to me. And everybody's home is different. And everybody's status is different. And those children read and they have fun. And so that was one of the big things that I loved about Blossom. And we also had people, me working in the financial industry, in the banking system, I had people that would come to the bank, couldn't write their name, they made an X. And that always struck my heart. How would I function if I couldn't read? And there are many people that you wouldn't know cannot read. And I was motivated to go and bring about 12 other people with me to go to the literary council to learn how, be trained how to teach people, adults that can't read, how to read. And that was many years ago. And since COVID, we had not done anything with Blossom until this year. as far as on a large scale.
Yeah.
And God told me this year, people have been through so many things. He wanted me to have a prayer revival. And that Saturday was dedicated to praying on Saturday morning. So the place was filled and people were praying, and there was a lady that she has a gift that God shows her, and she ministered to people through prayer. Yeah. And that lasted. We had a schedule, but we had to cancel the whole rest of everything else out because God moved in prayer. Yeah. And people need prayer. Yeah. And they need their faith reignited because we've been hit. America, the world has been hit. And it's going to take us turning our heart back to God. Yeah. So Blossoms is about teaching people, learning, and training, and reaching out. And one thing God did that I didn't have in that list, I started having to take care of my mother because my dad passed away. He was my stepdad. He passed away. And my mom, 6 months later, had to have a partial leg amputation. And so I was my mom's caregiver. And with that, I was taking care of my mother. My mother had lost her husband, then losing her abilities to walk normally. And through that rehab process, I knew that was going to be difficult for her to want to keep living. So I got the wheelchair in the back of the car, and I would take her. When she got home, my mother loved to go. She loved to go peer-free. She loved to do things. And I never allowed her to stay home. We got dressed, and we went. We were out for lunch. We were out for whatever. We went to every church service. Whatever she enjoyed, that's what we did. And I did it as God led me until I seen the spark of life rising back in her. Because I was willing to bury her along with her husband. I said, no, I have life. I'm going to pour into her. And that was the least I could do. And with the other ladies. And with that happening, then there were other women that I started picking up and going and doing the same things. So then my car got full. So then now, to present, there's probably about 13 of us. And then we have another vehicle now. And it's called the Golden Girls Official Vehicle. And when I looked up, all these women were widows.
Wow.
So he gave us Blossoms of Widow Ministry. Yeah. So we love on each other. And when they have birthdays, if you think about it, your husband would bring you flowers, or he would give you a gift, or, someone would do something to make you feel special. Well, they didn't have that. And some of them had no children. So on their birthdays, they pick where they want to eat, and we get a card, and we put our monies together, and we celebrate them. And if one of them needs something, go to the doctor's office, we're there. We take them there, and we take them out to eat. Because one of the things that hit my attention was our elderly people, we're on their shoulders. They carried us on their shoulders. And we need to reach back now and carry them.
I love that.
Because they need to be honored. They need to be endowed with special gifts and time spent with them. So
and I think time is even more important than anything else.
Yes.
They need the other things, but time is precious.
And they didn't live all these years that we spent going to the doctor's office and taking medications. And what we learned is them having joy, or having just the attention of someone caring about them, and also teaching younger ones to start caring about their elderly, teaching us to honor and value life.
I love that.
That we don't want to just pull out guns and just, blow each other away.
I think so. Just that value of life is so important. So what is on the horizon for Linnette? What's next for you? And
what's next?
What's next?
Now that we've moved into the new facility, which was a God thing, on the horizon now is doing everything that He's put in my heart to do. We've opened a Blossoms gift shop, and loving that. We started a t-shirt ministry too. Blossoms does t-shirts. Didn't know we could do those things, and the ultimate goal is I want to do the part B of what God gave me with Blossoms, and that's dividing the age groups and do the special teaching and training that He wants us to do. And then that Blossom will be everywhere.
Yeah.
It will go beyond Linnette.
Yeah.
And I'll begin to plant seeds everywhere that you can see Blossom popping up in different places.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's on the horizon.
Well, good. Well, awesome. Well, I certainly enjoyed our time together, just, hearing how God moved in your life and just the miracles He's worked.
Oh, yes.
And I know that He will continue. So I have 3 questions I ask every guest of mine. So the first one is, if you could only have one scripture to carry with you the rest of your life, what would that be? Be still and know that I am God. Yeah. Psalm 46:10. Why does that one speak so strongly to you? Because during all the hardest things I've gone through, and as a human, and as a female, and a mother, and a wife, we are wired to fix things. And many times we're trying to be God unknowingly, and to take our hands off of things and not move before God wants us to move. And being still doesn't mean I don't do anything. It means that I keep the peace of God that surpasses all understanding, that would keep my heart and my mind. And being still and know that He's God. And that is allow Him to do what His perfect will is in my life. Yeah. Love that. So question number 2, are you a coffee drinker, a tea drinker, or both? Both. All right. How do you like your coffee? 2 teaspoons of sugar and hazelnut cream. All right. And how do you do your tea? Lemon and ice, or any hot tea. Okay. Any flavor. All right. All right. And then number 3, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would your dream vacation be? My dream vacation is to go to Italy. And why would that be? I'm attracted to Italian design, decor, anything that's Italian. And I love the structure of the buildings. I love that is, the things there. I've never been. I've looked at pictures. And my dream vacation is to go to Italy. But I wanted to go with my husband. Yeah. I've had the opportunity to go with a friend. Yeah. And I turned it down because I always wanted to go with my husband. Okay. Well, so you and Leo have to make that happen. It's got to happen. I'm just waiting on the God timing. Yeah. I gotcha. We got to do it. That's right. That's where I want to go. Well, good. Well, thank you for joining me today, and just super excited for all that God's done and what He's doing. And thank you for having me. Healing, Hope. Is that your podcast? Hope, Health, and Healing. Hope, Health, and Healing. Yeah. I have hope. And hope is one of the things we do at Blossom. I forgot to mention that. Hope is, we have Night of Hope. I have it scheduled for October 17th. And Night of Hope is just a meal prepared for people to come free. And we pick families, or people give us names of families that may be going through a difficult moment. And we have sponsors, and we raise finances. And they don't know who they are, but they're there, and people come and give their eye stories of what kind of similar to what I did today. And they say where they've been and how God brought them through it. And that family or families that we want to be a blessing to, they are giving financial blessings. I love that. That's so good. Surprisingly. Yeah, so that's awesome. That's one of the ministries of Blossoms. Yeah. That's awesome. Love that. Well, we will talk to you again one day and hear what else is new. But thank you again, and just know that God is going to continue working in you and through you and for you. I love you much. Love you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Hope, Health, and Healing. I know that Linnette's story has inspired you to follow your dreams and passions, even if it means stepping out in faith and launching a new ministry. Join us next time as we share more hope and healing through people's stories that will uplift and encourage you no matter what your walk of life looks like. Be sure to like and comment on this episode of Hope, Health, and Healing, and then share our podcast with your friends and family. Thanks, and have a blessed day.